Okay, if you missed everything that happened during today's session, do not worry. We have 3 minutes, 46 seconds. We're getting you caught up on the only stocks you need to know about today. It's time for your top 10. Coming in at number 10 is Facebook, up more than 1% ahead of its second quarter results, due out after the bell. Analysts surveyed by Bloomberg, they're predicting a profit of 14 cents a share on revenues of $1.6 billion. We've got full coverage and instant analysis coming up on Facebook as soon as those numbers cross.
We certainly will. And Northrop Grumman up nearly 2% today. The maker of Global Hawk surveillance drones is raising its profit forecast. Ooh, there's one of them. This is my kind of stock. I love companies that make stuff like this. They're making money in spite of those budget cuts. The company says the F-35 jet work helped boost sales and profit during the second quarter. Again, Jules, it happened in spite of the sequestration.
You're such a boy, Adam. You love your planes.
I do.
Number 8 is Visa. The stock is down about 1% as the company prepares to release its third quarter results. They're coming right after the bell. And Visa has been trying to grow its presence on smartphones and tablets, which customers are increasingly using to pay bills and shop. Keep it right here for Visa's results coming up in just a few.
Okay, number 7, Hanes Brands jumping 8% after the company agreed to buy lingerie maker Maidenform for about $575 million in cash. The transaction is expected to close in the fourth quarter. Hanes Brands says the purchase should boost earnings per share in the first year after competition.
And Las Vegas Sands down nearly 2% today ahead of the second quarter earnings report. That's coming out right after the bell. Investors focusing on Macau and commentary around the impact on business from China's macro slowdown. We will bring you those results as soon as they cross right after the bell.
Yeah, and Macau is 58% of that company's revenue. Number 5, Boeing. Stock down almost 1%, even though the plane maker reported second quarter profits surged on higher aircraft deliveries and lower 787 Dreamliner production costs. Boeing also boosted its earnings forecast for the full year. Context here, Adam, as you pointed out yesterday, the shares closed yesterday right at a record, wasn't it? And they're up over 40% for the year. So that was sort of the context going into the earnings statement today.
Well, you know, it's the stock is at an all-time high. The backlog is a record $420 billion. They're going to be making planes for the next 10 years just to fill those orders. So in spite of headlines about, you know, problems with the 787 or the nose gear on that 737 Southwest jet that landed at LaGuardia a couple of days ago, the fact is people are you know, voting with their feet. They're buying the stock.
All right, let's watch another important stock here of the day. Number 4 happens to be Dell. It's trading, well, pretty much a flat line right now. Founder Michael Dell and Silver Lake, they sweetened their buyout offer for the PC maker. They're now offering $13.75 a share. That's a 10-cent boost, folks. They're also asking to change the voting procedure so that those shareholders who do not vote are not treated as part of the whole voting pool, which should make it easier for Michael Dell and Silver Lake to get their deal done. Bloomberg News has learned, however, that Dell's special committee is seeking at least $14 a share for the buyout. The shareholder vote has been postponed to August 2nd. The drama lives on.
It certainly does. PepsiCo down a fraction, even though the food and beverage company posted second quarter profit that topped the estimates. PepsiCo says higher prices help lift revenue for its America's food division. Volume also rose. That was about 2%.
And number 2 is Ford. The stock is up about 2.5%. The automaker raising its forecast after second quarter earnings topped estimates. Surging demand for Focus in China and Fusion in the U.S. shows CEO Alan Mulally's efforts to improve Ford's lineup are paying off.
All right, you hear the bell, so it brings us to our number 1 stock of the day, and it happens to be Caterpillar. Cat trading down almost 3%, the steepest loss in the Dow today. The company cutting its forecast and posting profits that trailed estimates for the third straight quarter. Caterpillar says mining equipment sales, they declined on slower commodity demand from emerging markets. It's something that Jim Chanos was telling me about Monday night when I spoke with him. He's shorting, of course, Caterpillar. He called it. All right, let's take a look at this market. Here we are closing lower on the Dow, down about 26 points. S&P also down by about 6 points, a loss of almost 0.4%. However, if you look at the one standout in the group today, it happens to have been technology, perhaps in part because of those strong Apple sales of iPhones coming in with a 3 handle, as Colin Gillis put it just yesterday.